Audio Jungle.
Hello there, welcome to Editography. In this lesson, I'm gonna teach you about layers and layer panel. Here I have one Photoshop file opened, in which I have made 3 layers. One is background layer, another is model, and third one is tattoo. The strength in creating artwork here inside Photoshop is Photoshop's ability to stack layers on top of one another. Here in 2 layers except background layer. You will notice checkerboard pattern. This checkerboard pattern indicates transparency. Layers are something by which you can mix up different objects into one image. With stack arrangements. Layer order is also important. Here, fully filled layer is background layer, so it's arranged at the lowest position, and model is above background layer, and tattoo must be above model layer. You can hide or unhide layer with I button in layer panel. Here background layer is not locked. It's simple layer named as background. Let me explain locked background layer in any other image. In this image you can see lock icon near to background layer. If I erase anything here, it will erase image, but it will be white color left. Because white color is selected as foreground color as default. It will not look like we have erased anything. It will rather look like we have painted white brush over image. It's because it's locked background layer and we have white color as a foreground color. Here, where I don't have locked background layer, if I erase, it will show checkerboard, which means transparency. It is like we have paper and its erased parts are holes in that paper. While, on other side at locked background, it's just erased part. So it will show opaque surface of paper. We can also convert that background layer into common layer. Now if I erase, you will see transparency. So I think now you have got difference between those both. Now let's talk about layer order. As I mentioned earlier, layer order is very important thing. There is background layer at bottom of everything. And then there is model layer above it. And at last tattoo layer above both of these. This is perfect order and position of layers. Let me try by changing its orders. You can change layer order by dragging it in layer panel above or below above layer. Here you can see if I put background layer above other layers, nothing will appear except background layer. Same with model layer and tattoo layer. If I move tattoo layer below model layer, it will not appear. That's how layer order plays important role. Now let's talk about how to create new layer. There is new layer button in bottom of layer panel. By clicking on it, new blank layer will appear in layer panel. You can also make new layer from a layer drop down menu or also from shortcut Ctrl plus Shift plus N. Now let's talk about what if we want to duplicate any layer. You can do it by right-clicking on layer name and then selecting duplicate layer option. But there is easy way to do it. Press Alt button and then drag that layer in panel. It will create its duplicate layer. You can delete any layer by delete button on the layer panel. There is also keyboard shortcut for duplicating layer. Press Ctrl plus J to duplicate any layer. There is opacity option in layer panel. Opacity shows transparency of that layer. Like if we want any layer not to be fully opaque, but we want it to be partial opaque, we can decrease opacity from here. You can control visibility of any layer by eyeball icon near any layer. Now let's talk about how we can duplicate two layers together. Press Shift button to select two layers together. Or use Control button and press on the layer name to select along with other layer. You can use Alt button plus drag to duplicate it as we did for single layer. You can also use Control plus J shortcut to duplicate. You can also duplicate it by selecting those layer and then dragging it to New Layer button. In same way, you can also delete any layer. You can also delete from right mouse button menu. If you are working with too many layers, you need to arrange and group it in proper way. You can make new group from group button in bottom of layer panel. New created group will be empty. You need to drag layers into that group. By creating group, you can manage group of layer together. You can rename any layer or group by double-clicking on its name. There is blend mode option near to opacity menu in layer panel. In Photoshop allow for layer blend modes that change the way layers react with each other. Into 2 I had selected overlay blend mode. Let's try to change it and you can see difference in each blend mode. You can experiment with different blend modes in layers. So, in this lesson, we have learned about layers and layer panel. Thank you for watching. See you in next tutorial.